Hello, welcome to the business segment on Joy News Prime. I am Emma Davis. A look at our stories. Ghana recorded the highest interest rates in Africa in 2023, despite a decline in Treasury bill yields. According to fixed income updates by some investment firms, the rates of about 29.24 and 31.88% for the 91-day and 182 Treasury bills respectively remain high. Here's a business desk report.
The yields on the 91-day and 182-day bills fell by 6.12 and 4.10% respectively last year. However, the rates are still elevated, increasing the government's cost of borrowing on the domestic market. Despite the rates falling significantly in March last year due to the domestic debt exchange program, the fall in the yields was short-lived. Again, average lending rates hover around 32%, ranking Ghana among the highest on the African continent. However, some analysts are hopeful Treasury yields will decline in 2024, potentially sharper along the year as investor sentiments improve. They have warned that election-related fiscal risks and its pass-through effects on inflation remain a risk to the outlook for the yields. Meanwhile, Egypt followed Ghana closely with the second highest interest rates in Africa. Seychelles, however, has the lowest interest rates in Africa.
Research lead at GCB Capital, Courage Poti, says government must be strict on spending, particularly discretionary items, in order not to erode the recent economic gains. According to him, this would help reduce election-related fiscal risks and its effects on inflation. He spoke to Joy Business.
It's a risk no one can completely rule out, and I can understand why. You could see the projections for the year that even in CAPEX, we've seen some significant growth in CAPEX, and it's not hard to think why. We are in an election year. Maybe there is some focus on infrastructure and other things like that. It has political capital, and it has, of course, social value as well. So it's here and there, right? But what we have seen in 2023 that worked was that revenue net did not necessarily perform. There were revenue underwhelmed to some extent, but there was that commitment to trim expenditure and normally on the discretionary items. And that is how we managed to keep the fiscals in check and even ahead of the program targets, really. Going into 2024, we haven't paid as much interest on the local bonds. In fact, we have to negotiate them down. External debt service will resume once we conclude the debt restructuring. It brings on another set of obligation. And so government would have to even be stricter on the discretionary expenditure items if revenue continue to shortfall. Now, will government be willing to do that? And in an election year where spending is a key part of the process, those we cannot say for certain. And that is why it remains on uncertainty as to how the discipline mechanisms of the program can keep us in check. And we had program in 2016 when we had overruns, really. So how the program can keep in check, and most importantly, how the authorities see the exigencies of the situation we are in and the need to, if you like, tighten our belt and get things back under control. Depending on how they see that and how committed they are to that process, we could see us sustaining the fiscal trend we are seeing now or the overruns that a lot of other people are also alluding to.
Now, Nigeria is leading Ghana in terms of the frequent use of digital channels for financial transactions. That's according to the 2023 KPMG West Africa Banking Industry Customer Survey. For instance, 70% of customers in Nigeria use their mobile banking app at least once a week, compared to 53% in Ghana. Here's more.
The overall outcome of the survey indicates that Nigeria is ahead of Ghana in the use of digital channels for payment and other forms of transactions. Again, 43% of customers in Nigeria use automated teller machines weekly, compared to 32% of Ghanaian customers. In terms of USSD, 40% of customers in Nigeria use this medium for banking transactions, while only 28% of Ghanaians do same. Regarding Regarding the importance of online banking, 78% of corporates and 52% of small and medium enterprises in Nigeria emphasize the significance of their bank's online platform. In contrast, 61% of corporates and 44% of SMEs in Ghana expressed similar sentiments. KPMG explained that the evolving digital landscape in West Africa is dramatically altering its financial ecosystems. Mobile connectivity has surged, exceeding 100% in both Ghana and Nigeria, with the surge sparking a profound shift in the payment sector.
That'll be all for today's business segment with me, Emma Davis. For more business news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. Have a good evening.